blowing up the my brother in the trap. Me, I'm trying to tell him it's a trap. He said, look, boy, I'm in a trap. Me, I'm trying to get it where it's like I don't blame him. He just trying to get it where it's like I'm on the same team. Yeah. He's so short, but he's so wavy. Run around town now, he's so crazy. Put your feet up now, if you pay me. My brother in the trap though. I'm just hoping he gets back home. What he's really doing is takes back home. Yeah, in an old Astra. And the thing is that he does it on his natural.
Here with Raffy Bushman today, and it's a pleasure. I just want to know about Salt Peanuts, the journey it's on, and the 20th edition, and the early days, and who actually came up with the idea. So, if you want to go ahead and tell me, just
thanks for having me. Yes, we just had the 20th edition of Salt Peanuts, which is a London-based cipher with a lot of live music, a lot of live performers that come down and play with the band. So yeah, 20th edition, which was perfectly timed for us because we'd just done some renovations on the space.
Yeah.
People that have been coming down from the beginning will remember a time when we used to just perform in a very small portion of the house. But now we've opened up the space so we can fit a lot more people in.
Nice.
20th edition was great. We had the legend in UK hip hop, Ty, come and run the mic and host for us, which is an honour for me. It was great.
Nice. So tell me about just staying consistent and relations with the band and how you get everyone together. And you've managed to do this for like 3 years now. So how do you actually keep it consistent and organize and invite the public, and just elaborate on that?
Yeah, well, with the musicians, it's sort of like Salt Peanuts really started as as a jam session, which was more actually for musicians. So we built up a community of guys that live around here and just want to come and play. In the old days we'd sometimes jam till like 3, 4 in the morning.
Nice.
And people were really into that. And then as we started introducing a bit more structure to the event, we had like a pool of guys that were into the same kind of music, and that we could always depend on. So the band isn't always completely the same, but it's all guys that have a passion for the music.
Yeah.
But we are setting up. I think we have decided that we want to start, the house band, the official house band for Unit 31. We want to start writing some original music. So we should have an EP out in a couple of months. Can you sing up as well? Yes, God.
What I want to say is, if you guys are really serious, what I want to say, because I know everyone's got bars, and this ain't really the environment for us to be heard. It's the environment for us to write. But if you want to hear one another's message, I know it's cold as fuck outside, but we'll find the time inside. SOA, ATBS, FBI, KIA, all them man there, right Dina, Bumbleclaw, Cinnamon Grahams, all them man there outside afterwards. And we will have a proper cipher. But for now, just bear with it. Singers, and don't be coming up with it. I want to hear some words. I want to hear some gospels. I want to hear some retributions. Don't be coming up here with the tune this. You know what? None of that. I will take the mic away from you. But if I bring a singer up to this stage, you need to make it sweet for them. You see it? Sweet. Sweet doesn't mean loud. Sweetness means sweet.
Grime, completely different to jazz, completely different to hip hop, neo soul. You put on a rendition with orchestra. Tell me the name of them again.
Rough Squad.
Yeah, the Rough
Squad Orchestra.
Yeah, Rough Squad Orchestra. But who actually was behind it with you?
Right. So one of the guys who plays often at Unit 31, Sheldon Agwu,
Yeah.
he has a relationship with Jazz Cafe, and they asked him to help do a show with Rough Squad, and Rough Squad wanted a 13-piece band or orchestra.
Yeah.
So originally I was just going to play keys.
Okay.
But then I was like, I want to arrange that music, so I jumped at the chance to do it, even though there was like silly budget, like not very much money.
Yeah.
You know, I just did it because I wanted to, and Rough Squad didn't even want to perform on most of the music.
Really?
So yeah.
That's surprising.
They were like, oh, maybe 2 or 3 tracks, but I got them like, I convinced them to perform on like one half of the concert. So the first half an hour, 45 minutes was sort of like my compositions inspired by the main, like the biggest themes in Rough Squad's back catalogue, basically.
Okay.
And then the second half was like just, I mean, it was mayhem. Like.
So what was it like? Maybe infusing, because you did infuse jazz and grime.
Yeah.
So you brought back a lot of nostalgia for myself. I'm listening to a lot of grime instrumentals, what you've done renditions to, and then you're also mixing it with jazz, and I found that quite special and very interesting. And how did you find the transitions?
Well, you know what it is? It's more of a rhythm thing. That's what I found. I'd already been working with a drummer Matt Davies, who played on that gig. We've been working together, like listening to grime and trap beats and trying to develop like a live sound that could do it justice, because that music is mostly produced, right? So a lot of the drum patterns are unconventional to live drummers.
Yeah.
So we were already working for a long time because I had an idea for a project like that in my mind, and then I got the call to do the Rough Squad thing. I just thought it's perfect.
Nice.
It was great.
Perfect. And another thing what I've noticed with Uni 31 and Salt Peanuts, you've started a new thing where you started to showcase artists as individuals. Someone who I came across and was taking pictures of here on maybe one of the last sessions was Pierce James. How important is it for like an artist like Pierce James to get his own headline show here, and how much time do you put into something like that to make it successful?
I think nowadays it's very important. I think the value of live music has gone up significantly. People aren't selling CDs anymore, so it's like you need to have a good live show if you want to compete in the music industry. So I think what we can now provide is, because we've got an amazing pool of like musicians, we can put a tight band together, and we can, because he doesn't necessarily have, a lot of those artists don't have access to live musicians like that, So what we can offer is that they come down, we can help arrange their music for a live band. And I mean, if you were there, I mean, it was great. It was such a good night, And he really did well with all the live musicians.
No, I did look great. I did miss the show, but I did catch up on the footage what you did place on YouTube, on maybe your channel or the Salt Peanuts channel, and it did look fabulous. And it's quite warming to have artists what maybe not overlooked but don't have the biggest platform where they are exposed virally. So to come here and just do something quite homegrown and in London.
I mean, it's better than just like your managers putting together whoever they can find.
Yeah.
It's like these are musicians that are tight, that play tight together and like understand how to play with each other.
Well, perhaps I just see a little bit more than others. Real minds look inside of the heart. I see lovers. Maybe I'm a hopeless hip-hop romantic, but I'd rather be that than be static. Trying to make a new school illmatic. We hungry. In fact, we famished. We need that cheddar cheese, so we manage. One day I hold my words whole way, too old way. It's 2001 day. I know my track platinum in one day. I think it's going insane. Rubbers are on the play, rubbers on my way, choppers are on you play,
I know you're not a producer, but is there ever going to be a time where you actually do work on a solo project? You say you compose music and everything. I would love to see like maybe just a catalogue of Raffy Bushman instrumentals or like an archive of stuff. I would love that.
Well, see, I'm not a producer because I'm not dedicated to learning how to use all those plugins and all the programs, but I think what I realized, I mean, I have tried making beats in the past, but what I realized is like, there are a lot of things that I'm lucky to have that make me an individual, and those are things I want to express. And it's like I'm an advocate for live music.
Yep.
You know, as much as I love produced music, I'm personally an advocate for live music. So that's where the orchestra comes in. So after I did that Rough Show squad, I decided I wanted to set up my own orchestra.
Nice.
So it's called New Shape Orchestra, and it's kind of like the same thing, like exploring those new rhythms and like writing original music.
Yep.
So we made a recording last February of some beats, but I'm hoping to like release an EP.
Yeah, we look forward to
Yeah.
definitely getting my hands on that, man. Definitely be good stuff. So just another quick question. How long have you actually been playing keys, and how many instruments do you actually play?
Yeah. History of music is like I was born into a musical family, so and I'm lucky in that sense. So my mother was a concert pianist.
Oh, right.
My dad was a conductor. So they were very into like classical music. So
And was this in London?
this was in Saudi Arabia actually. I was where I was born until I was 7, and then I moved to London.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So yeah, it's a mad one. So you know, they were very. That was one of the most important things in my house. Is that everyone played a string instrument and the piano. You know, and you're practicing before and after school. It was a big deal in my house. And eventually, I decided I wanted to start playing jazz. So that's when I started getting into jazz piano. And then, you know, since learning how to play jazz teaches you how to learn or like absorb music on your own. So since then, it's like I'm always working on jazz, but you know, living in London, also I used to go to churches the whole time trying to absorb gospel music, and then obviously all the hip hop and the grime and everything. Sort of so I'm just trying to build my
good mix.
Yeah, you can build a musical identity. You know, if you really follow the things that you're passionate about. So that's my philosophy.
Probably last question. Who is your biggest musical influence? What artist would you say I would like to be like that, or maybe perform with him or have a piece of music with that person?
Oh man, it's a tough one.
It's always a tough one. There's so much good stuff out there.
Yeah.
But who caught your ear and you were like, all right, this is what I relate to the most, or this is what I aspire to be? It's
like you can think about. I can remember all the music that like influenced me the most. Like, you know, you can remember hearing a piece of music.
Yes.
And I mean, it's an obvious one, but I remember hearing Watermelon Man by the Headhunters with Herbie Hancock.
Okay, cool.
I remember just hearing that and like hearing that beat drop. If anyone hasn't listened to it, you need to listen to it.
Definitely.
I mean, everyone in my scene, like Herbie's the man, you know.
Right.
Having a career like that, where he evolved so much, you know, and it's like you go back to his first album, but everything he did was like the quality's there, you know, and he's still going.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate it.